What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Kowloon Generic Romance. This time with episode almost messed up the timer. This time with episode 4. Another good episode last week. Brings up again even more questions about the whole kind of cloning versus memory removal situation that I'm kind of confused about, and we don't know what is actually the case. Again, judging from the way they were talking about her facial features, like the mole and such, sounds like she's a clone, but the way that our main characters talk sounds like she's just like missing her memories. So it's like, yeah, which one is it? But it was a good episode last week. Quite hectic, actually. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys would like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. Oh, really? I did hear, unfortunately, in one of my comments that this place no longer exists, I don't believe, which is a shame. Oh, really? It's pretty awesome. Yeah, this is almost like a bit of the theme of Yakuza Like a Dragon in a way. But sometimes you need this bit of like something wrong, something that's not meant to be, something that's maybe too old, like the Yakuza. Sometimes you need a bit of that. Oh, bloody hell, she's wonky. Sometimes you need the yeah. Sometimes you need a bit of grey area, grey zone. Wow. See, for me, I'm not like a massive fan of. I know your true personality and such comes out when you're drunk and so on, but I'm not a massive fan of like getting. I say that again, a bit paradoxical, because I've gotten with quite a few girls while drunk myself and then being drunk. But I'm not a fan of, if it's serious, I'm not a fan of like taking advantage of someone's drunk state, for example. Again, a little bit ironic when I think about it, but yeah. The thought of it doesn't seem very nice. I think it's a bit different perhaps in the moment, but yeah. Again, here in the case that there is a movie companion piece to the series, I don't want to go ahead and like say things that aren't going to be true, but I'm speculating, to be honest with you, that perhaps we won't ever really know what happened with Kujirai and this potential clone or um memory erased version of her. Perhaps we'll never know, but I'm kind of again theorizing that that might be the point of the movie, to kind of, it's almost like a bit of an answer arc for Higurashi, for example. Like it gives us the answers to the series that we've been enjoying, and Higurashi is fun on its own with those kind of ongoings, but the answer arcs, for me anyway, were my favorite pieces of Higurashi, realizing stuff and finding out culprits and so on and so forth. And I feel like this might be the case here, where it's like it's a different kind of thing giving us the answers, which I wouldn't be too mad about. But I think like 4 episodes in, I'm hoping to know a little bit more about exactly what's going on here, because we very much are still really in the dark on a lot of things. Like almost nothing has been really answered. So I would like to maybe start getting a few answers, but like I said, maybe it's actually formatted. As I said, maybe the movie will reveal things, and unfortunately, we won't get to watch that movie for like a year. So it would be a bit of a shame. It would be cool, like if you were watching this in the future and everything's already out, it would be really cool. Again, that's just me kind of theorizing. I could be like, totally wrong. Could get all the answers today, for example, but that's just like, I don't know why. I kind of feel like that might be the case. Bad little place he's got here. MCU. Coffee. What does that mean? That with an extra A. Fart. But as I said, I am hoping for maybe even not answers, but just like the direction of answers today. I do kind of like this feeling though. It reminds me a little bit of the original Blade Runner in a sense of like you're just as lost as the character. You're just as like not in the know whether he's I always forget the name of the actual things, but he's not. If you're a skin job, which sounds terrible, yeah. If you're a skin, if he was like, if the main character Harrison Ford is a skin job or a real human, I really like the vibe of like the view as the viewer being the same as the character in the movie. And this feels slightly similar. Of course, not quite as well done. Again, I love that movie. Wasn't a massive fan of the sequel though, which surprising considering how highly people rate it. Much prefer the original. So there's a second him as well. I mean, I'm good at maths, but I'm really not good like shapes and stuff like that. Um, Perhaps it's like a case of there is that kind of saying. I think especially in Asia of like double gangers, and there's like a double out there. You hear that quite often in anime. Maybe that's a thing that they take from. I don't really know where they got that from, to be honest with you. But I'm not sure if that's the thing that originates in Japan or as a common thing. But I've seen it often in anime, like the whole double ganger things, and people having like a double out there somewhere. If you guys have seen the movie Us, I think it's called. That movie makes no sense, but it's a quite a fun movie with having like doubles of humans as well. It's an interesting concept. Again, totally makes no sense, but yeah, I wonder if this is a thing of that thing in the sky, which again we've got absolutely no clue about at all. I wonder if that's like that's definitely what maybe that's just like a red herring. Maybe that has nothing to do with anything, but and maybe it's like not a case of these guys can like clone themselves at will or have a fake of them at will, but like there is just one other you out there. Like perhaps that thing in the sky. It's a weird shape. Like I said, I'm probably talking absolute nonsense right now, but it's like I could see perhaps that shape maybe indicating a kind of second layer to the world. Again, maybe a little bit like us, for example. It's like an underground kind of refuge of like views. Like I said, yeah, that movie, as fun as it is, it doesn't really make much sense. Unfortunately, Jordan Peele, he's made 3 good movies. The first of which being the best by far. The latter two, Us and Nope, just don't make as much. They're much more kind of theme focused rather than kind of actually a good story focus. If that makes sense. Much more about the message, metaphors. Dude loves metaphors. So yeah, again, these guys talk about it like they're clones, and I think I'm gonna go with their perspective of this. That's what I'm more confident of at this moment. I think. Might be clones, might be just mirror versions, like yeah, whatever word you want to call it. That is her and not a clone. I just feel like I'm just getting like more questions, and yeah, things aren't getting answered. More questions just getting brought up. I just keep switching. It's like clone, memory loss, clone, memory loss. My God, damn! Is it both? Maybe it's both. Probably, maybe it does seem like it may be both actually. There's both clones and there's some kind of memory loss thing. I don't fucking know. Like I said, the more this goes on, the more lost I kind of feel, which is not great. But I'm still really interested. Which I think is the right choice. Be your own person. Follow your own feelings, even if those feelings are the same as the previous you. You still pursue them. There are still mysteries to say the fucking least, bro. Muscle memory. Zirconian. That's a bit of an issue I have with this woman, to be honest with you. I know this sounds, I mean, it sounds crazy, but it's super true. She's had so much plastic surgery, yet she's beautiful, whereas in real life she'd actually be really ugly. To be honest with you, I can never really. I don't go around judging people's jewelry or whatever, but I can't ever really tell what's real and what's fake with this kind of stuff. You have seen like videos of people go around with those like diamond testers, which I feel that is a bit cringe, but yeah. Let people wear what they want. If they want to wear an imitation, then be, bro. That the girl we met with the sunflowers last week. I'll go down with that. Actually, though, like we don't even know what happened with her really. That is a bit strange, isn't it? Because like essentially she like doesn't even know her. But perhaps that's some kind of feeling you get being like a clone, or that might even be her. So it would make sense if that was actually like her. I don't know. Like I said, it's hard to make sense of a lot of this stuff without any answers. It is just purely like you got to go on purely theoreticals, which I don't mind doing. That would be nice for like something solid. Go back to service. Old smoke still lingers. It's quite ironic considering that, but yeah. Well, it's not ironic, but like it goes quite well with the whole smoking. It stains, it sticks around. It's yeah. Stays for a while. What song is this? What kind of song is that? Exhaling CO2. That's a lot of lemon, isn't it? I would assume it'd just be like a little drizzle of lemon and chicken, which I've had before. I've never had lemon chicken. I've had a little bit of lemon on chicken, not as much as to like completely take over the taste. I feel like that would literally just taste like lemon. We used to call it twos. We go twos on it. Share the cigarette. I remember one time when I did smoke, done that with this girl, and it was horrible because there was all the lipstick all over it and wet and disgusting. Yeah. I don't know why that just came to mind, but it did. It was gross. You bastard. You fucking bastard. Oh yeah, she's a smoker, so it's not too bad, but still, like that's a dirty move right there. That was also something that I haven't done too much, but I've done with a girl. You'd like when I did smoke again. Have you seen as like sexy or whatever? Again, this is like very teenage cringe stuff right here. But yeah, you'd like blow it. You wouldn't even blow. You just like keep your mouth open, and they'd like suck the smoke out, and inhale it themselves. And again, it's a very cringe thing, to be honest with you. Wouldn't just blow it in your face like that, though. Although that would be quite funny. No, a lot less cringe. And this guy really likes singing about his life, doesn't he? Like literally, like very literally. Sure is. So it does feel like we're not going to get any answers today, doesn't it? Which again, I've still got interest, but it's just like you need to satiate my interest at some point. You need to give me something. I know I'm probably going to be disproven in this last minute or so here, but it just feels like a bit of the kind of donkey with a carrot sticking out in front of it situation where you're constantly chasing for an answer, and you're constantly looking for something. Yeah, you're always that distance away, and you're never going to get it. So yeah, again, I don't want to. I mean, we've only got a minute left, and maybe I'm speaking too early here, but again, at some point, you've got to give me something, man. You've got to give me some kind of payoff, some kind of answer, some kind of solid thing, tangible thing I can kind of cling on to get some answers in this mystery show. Like it hasn't got to be episodic like Apothecary Diaries, which isn't exactly episodic, but it has a lot of episodic episodes. It hasn't got to be like a one episode mystery thing like that. I mean, the whole premise of the show is based on this mystery. It does seem, but again, like at this point, it's getting like a little bit frustrating. Don't get me wrong, I'm still enjoying the show. Again, I'm still interested in the premise, but as things go on, it just again feels like, will we ever get an answer? And that does make me less interested. And if that keeps going on, I will just end up thinking, you know what, we're never going to get an answer. They're always just going to keep dangling this in front of us. Is it this? Is it that? And yeah, and with stuff like that, it's just like, well, I'm not sticking around to find out then. If it's going to take this long. But yeah, it's just a little bit frustrating. I'm one of those people that really likes to know a lot about, likes to be like clued up about stuff as well, and like mystery shows and theorizing stuff. And it's almost impossible to theorize when, again, we've got almost nothing to go off confidently. A lot of possibilities. And possibilities are possibilities. I'm not sure if any of you guys feel the same about that. So is that his double ganger they're about to bring in? What the hell just happened here? What just happened? So they are the same people? They can't be at the same place at the same time, these doppelgangers, these clones or whatever they are? These perhaps even like again versions of yourself within your head or something, I don't know. Maybe this is him here, but then because they've also invited the other him, which is actually inside his head, he then walks out and pretends to be the other him and comes in or something. I don't know. Again, maybe it's just because I'm lost. Maybe it's because I'm not understanding things. I feel the way that I felt when I was just talking about a minute ago. Maybe it's a me thing. Again, who knows? I just judging from the size of him. I imagine that's him. Also, this guy's fucking whole face. He looks like he's had plastic surgeries. So we can tell by the voice actor, I think. I mean, I think that's the same voice actor. He sounds really upbeat in the. I closed my eyes there. Sorry, I just had like focus on the sound. He sounds a bit more upbeat, the guy that's coming in, but I think it's the same voice actor, so I assume it's his clone or him or whatever. And then he just like, what happens here? Does he just vanish? What the fuck? Is it like, again, maybe it's like what I said about the whole shape thing. Maybe it's like some kind of refraction. Maybe it's some kind of like not clone per se, but again like a light reflection. The main character spoke about the moon earlier today, which is a reflection of the light of the sun. So perhaps Kujirai again is some kind of like, there's the original Kujirai, then this Kujirai that we focusing on in the main series is like some kind of reflection of her rather than an actual clone or a version of her. Maybe again it's just like, yeah, some kind of twisted kind of reflection or something. I don't know. Again, this just brings up more possibilities. Apologies if you can hear my dog barking, by the way, but why is it then that he probably doesn't have a doppelganger anymore? Again, I just feel a bit lost. Did he kill her? Do you reckon we got a bit of a Silent Hill 2 situation going on? To be honest, I didn't even know that. I hope you can. Yeah. James Sunderland, version 2. My restless dreams. I see that town. Kowloon. That fits quite well. My restless dreams. I see that town. Kowloon. Okay. Well, I guess we got at least an answer for something at the end here. Turns out I always call him James then. I might just call him James because I can't ever remember his name. James here, Mr. James Sunderland, end up killing Kujirai himself. Again, I feel like maybe this is based off a little bit like Silent Hill 2. Again, a hugely influential game and one of the best games I've ever played. I only played it last year. I haven't played the remake. I only played it last year, and even as like a 20-year-old game, it's one of the best games I've ever played in my life. Purely because of the story and the characters. The gameplay isn't that great, but yeah, I absolutely love the story. So it feels like this is maybe a bit inspired by that in a way, and perhaps Kujirai, the original Kujirai, was like ill or something, or there was something wrong with her, and he had to like kill her to put her out of her misery or something. I mean, it seemed like they framed this like he's a little bit crazy at the end here, but he's been nothing but kind of cool, and we've been sympathetic towards him and understanding of him this whole time. So they might just switch up here, but I feel like, especially with the choice of voice actor, he's not kind of crazy, and he probably did have good reason to, as crazy as that maybe sounds. Like I said, maybe quite relatable to James Sunderland. Absolute spoilers for Silent Hill, by the way, there, but it's almost 30-year-old game, so yeah. Yeah, just another episode. I feel very lost. Like, again, the more the episodes go on, the more I feel lost with this show, which is a real shame. I'd hope to feel more clued up and more informed as the show goes on, but this is like very much the opposite that's happening here. Again, at least this gave us something at the end here, but I still really don't know what to like make of it for sure. Again, I really like things that are like things in the vein of this, where it's very like open ended. It's very much like you haven't got all the answers in front of you. You've got to think, and you can't really be sure of anything. It gives it like a good sense of like mystery and tension, but also again they really like, you've got to give us at least something tangible to kind of go off. And we've had so many contrasting thoughts and like things said by people, you can't ever really be sure if anyone's kind of actually right about it. I feel like I trust these two guys the most with what's being said, but half of this stuff is just like, what does this mean? What do you mean that his clone or whatever it is no longer about? Why is that? Is it because they were meant to be in contact, like these old little guys, like they were about to be in contact, so now his clone or whatever just got removed from the face of the earth? Is that what happened with these two? Like, again, I don't really get it, and it doesn't feel good to not get it. It feels like I should know at least like a little something at this point, but again, I just feel more lost than ever. But yeah, certainly looking forward to seeing what happens in this situation next week. Again, my interest is still here, but it's just like it is diminishing as the episodes do go by, to be honest with you. But yeah, do let me know what you guys thought about this one down in the comments. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy, and let me know what you guys think about that at the end. Again, maybe it's just because I personally haven't caught on to a few things. Maybe there's a few little clues and such that I haven't caught on, that could help me out with stuff like that. But yeah, just how I'm feeling at the minute. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and have a good rest of your day.